Hi everyone. I took a week off, but I'm back today. Today I'm going to make all dairy things. It's a Jewish holiday called Shavuot next week, and we eat all dairy. So lots of mums have this recipe, variations of it. This is one of my family's very favorite, called black bottom cupcake. So it's cheesecake on top and the best chocolate cake on the bottom. So I'm going to start with my mixer and 8-ounce block of cream cheese. Any cream cheese. I prefer not to use light cream cheese. And I put a pinch of salt in here, and I've left this out to be room temperature, so it's nice and soft. We're going to put 1 egg in here. 1 egg. We are going to put 1/3 of a cup of sugar in here. This is just the topping we're making. My pinch of salt is in there. Now we're going to have this go around until it's nice and smooth. It almost makes like an icing, except we're going to bake it on. Sometime for my daughter's sweet 16th birthday, I actually put some pink food coloring in, and I made this pink rather than the white, and it's really pretty to do that too. So here we're just going to keep mixing it until you see it comes together. We don't want chunks. We want it to be nice and smooth and creamy. Right now it looks like cottage cheese. That's not when we stop it. We want it to all come together with the sugar, pinch of salt, and the cream cheese. And then we're going to put a cup of chocolate chips right in with that. I'm just going to let it get a little smoother. The rest of the cake I don't need a mix master for. It's very easy to mix up. But this is, we really do need the mix master for this. There, it's looking smooth now. I will add some chocolate chips. You can use mini chocolate chips, you can use colorful chocolate, you can use whatever you want. So there's our topping already made. Okay. So this chocolate cake is going to be the base of our cream cheese cupcake. So it is also the best cupcake if you just want to use a cupcake with no egg in it, because this part has no egg in it. So here we're going to put 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Then we're going to put a cup of sugar. We're going to put 1/4 cup of cocoa, any cocoa. The better the cocoa, the better the cake. This is 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking soda right here. In here is a tablespoon of just regular vinegar and a teaspoon of vanilla. And how you know, this is my favorite part, how you know that that soda was good is look at how it's bubbling. Vinegar to the baking soda makes it bubble, and that's also going to help it be the leavening agent. It's going to rise. So we're just going to mix that around. But some people wonder if their baking soda is good. You can always test if baking soda is good by adding a little vinegar to it, and it should fizz like that. So here, we've actually made this now as our baking base. That's the cake, just whisking it around. In here, I have a cup of water and 1/2 cup of just regular oil. Gonna put that in. And that's it for the base. Just gonna mix it up. And I will show you how we're gonna put it in these cupcakes. This is the most decadent, delicious cupcake. And I'm going to put these in the oven, and while these are baking, I'm going to show you how to make a ricotta cheese gnocchi. And we're going to do it in a brown butter sauce. And that is a perfect dairy meal. And I can't say it's good for you, but it's very yummy. So here's what the batter looks like. It comes together really nicely, really easily. Now I have my lined cupcake pan. You can also make this, I've made it as brownies. So you put it in a 9x11 pan, and then you can just put the cream cheese topping on top, and it makes it yummy too. But here we'll fill this about maybe half full. Half full. I'll just do a few. I won't make you watch me do all of them. And then I'm going to show you how we put a bit of this cream cheese, which is actually a cheesecake topping on it. So here's our cheesecake topping that we showed you earlier. Just gonna give it another little mix. And I just have one little ice cream scoop. You put it right in the center on top. It will all splay out and it will just be a nice cake with the cheesecake topping. Put in the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes. I'm gonna fill the rest of these and then you'll come back and you'll wish that you could have some. See you in a minute. Now here's the yummy main course of our meal. We're gonna make gnocchi. I used to make this with the kids all the time at my cooking school, and it's fun for adults, it's fun for kids. So here's 2 cups. Oh, by the way, make sure your countertop is nice and clean. I like to wipe it down with some vinegar and water or something that is very food safe so that you can work on the counter. So here we have 2 cups of flour, just all-purpose flour. That's my dog barking. Our flour. We're gonna put 2 teaspoons of salt. You can do this in a bowl if you want. I like doing it like this because it feels fun. We're gonna put 2 teaspoons of pepper. We're gonna put 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, not garlic salt, but garlic powder. Already good, the powder. And we will stir this around a little bit. So maybe I shouldn't have made the hole, so I was too quick to make the little dent in the middle. So I'm just gonna mix this around. Now I'm gonna make the hole. I think I mostly did it on countertops because the kids thought it was hilarious. So that's what I did. Now we're going to put the eggs in the middle. 4 eggs. I've left these out. They're room temperature. That's really the best way to do anything with eggs. There's 1 egg. 2 eggs. I will have to start making this go together. And then I'll add the other eggs in a minute. We liked to at the cooking school see if we could chase the egg off the big metal table that we were making these on. That was the highlight. We often lost a few eggs on the floor. Here we're going to put 1 cup of Parmesan cheese. You can use freshly grated, you can use just the stuff from the jar. Here we're going to use 2 cups of ricotta cheese. Now the ricotta cheese is instead of using potato. Lots of people make potato gnocchi, and this is this exact same recipe. If you want, you could put 2 cups of potato. The difference is you have to be able to dry your potatoes. So they have to be, and ricing them is actually the best way. So boil the potatoes first, then rice them, make sure they're nice and dry, or else you're gonna find you need a lot more flour and they can become tough. So this is just an easier recipe and a dairy recipe, and the ricotta cheese just makes it super, super simple. I have made the potato ones, they're delicious too, but it's funny, lots of people don't notice the difference when we put the ricotta cheese in it. And if you're doing some sort of keto diet, this is better for you than the potatoes. And you could also use keto-friendly flour or a gluten-free flour. So this is not a pretty process at all. I'm just making it all go together. And then I'm going to put it in ropes. So this is pretty much our dough. Couldn't have been easier. Doesn't look nice, but that's our dough. It smells delicious already. And I'm gonna roll it into about 3 ropes, probably 4 ropes. And then I will show you what we do with the ropes. So you'll come back and you'll see how we cut up our gnocchi in a simple way. See you in a minute. So here's our dough. If you look at it close up, you can see the bits of ricotta in it and the lovely pepper and all the yummy seasonings. Now make sure you have a nice floured surface. We're gonna cut this into a few pieces because we're going to roll it about 1/2 inch ropes, 1/2 inch in diameter. So everybody thinks gnocchi is so hard. Gnocchi doesn't have to be that shape, although I will show you how to make that shape. But when I do it with the kids, I have this special knife here that is actually a potato knife. It's sort of got grooves in it, and that will also make the grooves. The grooves for gnocchi is just to hold the sauce in it. But the kids love to do it like this. I also want to make a shout out. I was at IGA in my neighborhood and a lady stopped me and recognized me from my videos. I believe her name was Catherine, and I've never been so flattered in my life, and she was the loveliest woman. So Catherine, if you're watching this, hi. And one day PM me your address and maybe you'll be the recipient of some of my yummy food. Because I think we're in the same neighborhood. Actually, I'm sure we're in the same neighborhood. I love it when new people are looking at my videos. I was gonna stop, but people are telling me not to, so I'm not. Sometimes we get a little down with this isolation, so this actually keeps me smiling and keeps me moving and keeps me doing something. Okay, so we have this, and it's a nice about 1/2 inch tube. So you'll see this has the nice grooves in it. So when I do this with the kids, I just cut it like this and it makes these little grooves. And then it's gnocchi. But if we want to do it the right way, you can get gnocchi, actual gnocchi spoons, but this is a very easy way to do it. You take it and you roll it down a fork like this, and you get the little grooves in it. And the grooves will hold the sauce. A faster way, if it's just my family, I'm just going to do it like this. And it does kind of have the grooves because of this knife. At this point, if I wanted to, I could put these, lay them flat on a cookie sheet. I could freeze them, and then they'd save them for another day. They'd be perfect for another day. And I'm just going to continue doing this until I get it all done. And then we're going to boil them in some salted water. They come to the top very, very fast. As soon as they come to the top, they are cooked. And then we're going to put them in a frying pan with butter, which we will brown, and of course my green stuff, and some pepper. And that will be it. And we will stir fry it in that, and we're going to top it with a little bit of grated Italian cheese, any kind, and I'll show you the finished product when we're back. So right now you can just watch like this. I'll show you one more time how to make this gnocchi. Roll down the fork, and then you get a little round gnocchi. So I'll be back in a minute with all of this done. So here I have about 1/4 of a cup of butter and a nice tablespoon of my green stuff. And we're just going to let that all melt and come together. And the butter turns a little bit brown. And so it's a brown butter sauce. A little bit of a extra herb in here. Because I put the fresh herbs in, sometimes you see pieces of the twig or the rosemary, but you can just pull it out or you can just eat it. It won't hurt you and it's delicious. So we're just getting this all ready. And it's going to melt really nicely. My water is starting to boil. So here's our gnocchi. Here's the water with some salt in it. And we're just going to pop these in one at a time. And we'll wait till they come to the surface. And as soon as they come to the surface, we know they're cooked. But then as soon as that's finished, we're going to put them in my brown butter herb sauce. And I'll sprinkle it with some cheese. And I'll feed my people, but they won't let me put them on camera to show you how delicious it is. So we're just going to wait for some of these to come to the top, and I will get this butter still melting and bubbling. We don't want to burn the butter, but we do want to make it a little bit brown. If you want to, you can add some cream to this after, but it is nice and flavorful already. So we'll just wait till those come to the top. It should be any second. And then we'll pop them right from there into this sauce. And it'll be delicious. So now you can see in the pot, these have come to the top. I'm just going to get a spoon that I can drain them in. Here's my butter. It is not turned brown yet, but it will soon. But I'm going to take these directly and put them in here and make a nice sizzling noise. And then we just keep doing a little bit at a time. These are very filling, so you won't need all of them probably. Depends how many people you're feeding. And you can see how they just float to the top. They're light as air. And then I'm going to continue frying them up. Yum. They look delicious. We're going to put some more in this boiling water here. We'll just keep going. Now you'll see the water's boiling a little faster, so it will they'll come up even faster. And then we'll just keep adding them to the butter. And the butter will keep on a medium so that it does make the butter nice and nutty when it turns a little bit brown. And these will come up. We will have a delicious dairy-free meal, which we will show you. I'm lying, it's not dairy-free. No, we're having a delicious dairy meal. So here we have the ricotta gnocchi in a brown butter herb sauce. Sprinkle a little cheese on. These are the brown bottom cupcakes that I made for us before. And then this is if I was to make it as a brownie. So I just swirl the cheese around. So I hope you all enjoy. I enjoyed. Hopefully we'll see you next week.